Right. Well, I'm on here a few minutes early, but just wanted to make sure everything was set up right. Wait for other people to join me. And mute myself on there so that it's not confusing. We're gonna have a little bit different than what we usually aim for today. We have a Lisa, we have an Erica. Hi. Lisa, is Karen coming?
Yeah, she's probably just not on yet.
That's okay. I mean, we're all on a little bit early anyway. I just wanted to double check. Yeah. I did not want to keep pushing this back and pushing it back, but I am definitely not 100% still.
That's okay.
So my friend I hang out with after this on Tuesdays last week, I didn't see the message about it being canceled till like the very end. And I'm just a book group is not happening this week. And he's like, at this point, it's like a hypothetical book group. We might have book group this week. We might not have book group.
Well, that's what happens when the person who, came up with it and puts it on her YouTube channel is sick for like months at a time.
I'm so sorry.
No. It's just frustrating, but I'm getting there. I'm better than I was. I am capable of sitting up.
This is good.
In a chair with a back. I can go like, microwave food for 2 minutes and not have to sit down while I'm waiting for it to finish microwaving. So I'm getting there.
There you go.
So I know Becca's not coming tonight because my baby sister is getting married next weekend and I can't go to her wedding.
Oh, that's so sad.
I actually wasn't going to be able to, and I'm really glad that I hadn't spent money on tickets because I physically would not be able to right now anyway.
Yeah.
But Becca's getting everything ready for their family for the weekend. So too much to do in the week leading up to traveling. Oh boy, I'm like gonna fall asleep here.
Oh no.
You guys just, if I fall asleep, just keep talking, it'll be fine.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
All right. So we are talking this week about Celephais, Nyarlathotep, and the picture in the house. I like the picture in the house because I know all of those words. I'm like typing these. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm just typing like a different, like Celephais, Nyarlathotep, Hiawatha. No, wait. Just fit the rhythm.
Something that I'm realizing about this entire series of stories is that they're written so that you take the time to read them.
Yeah,
which is weird because I'm so used to like being able to just like speed read, but with these you have to like read the details and get enveloped in the story.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, and I struggle with that also because I tend to skip things and then I miss things because in other writers you can skip a paragraph or two and it's fine. You didn't need to know exactly which shade of brown that particular guy's left eye was, and with him, like, every word matters. And sometimes I like jump down and I'm like, oh no, wait, that was probably what?
Oh, my video's not on. Aw.
Karen. We'll just have Lisa duplicate hers.
That's right. Yeah.
That'll work.
Oh, there she is. Hi. Wow, looms. You got a lot of looms.
Yeah, Karen hangs her looms up.
It's nice and organized and like aesthetically pleasing. It makes me happy. And you have
I gave her most of those.
Are you talking about my looms over here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my chair keeps hitting them, but I did that originally when I had a table here, so I thought it would look nice with them on the wall. Hi, Harry. You need to go to the bathroom now?
Yes, because you need to do something.
Like,
hi, baby.
Oh.
All the babies are in here with me now. So much fun.
Of course.
See if I can get them on camera.
So those who are working on stuff, what are you working on tonight?
I decided to make this cool project of putting these cute little chicks into little resin eggs. Oh, that's so much fun.
I am trying to make a cancer ribbon design for earrings.
Out of what?
Out of ribbon.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were like crocheting it or if you were just putting ribbon together or what your plan was.
For someone, and I wanted to make it so it's like the cancer purple with the cancer that they're talking about at the moment, which is yellow for bone cancer at the moment. And I'm making this for them so that hopefully it makes their day a little bit brighter.
That's cool. Did I show you guys the resin stuff that I made? I can't remember. I can't remember if we've met since when I made these or not.
I do not know.
Something. You can show again. I don't know if you showed us the exact. So cool.
Oh, pretty.
So I miscalculated. I thought I had 9 bunnies and 9 chicks. I have 6 bunnies and 9 chicks. Oh. I got 3 pink and 3 white bunnies.
Just put a couple bunnies together for a bit. You'll be fine. They'll multiply.
3 of each color. They're little chickies. And then I got some fake grass. I chose plastic because I thought it would go better than paper in the resin. And
probably
got some candy eggs to be little eggs for Easter. Oh, nice. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to look at all.
I need my PJ pants. These are the other 2. This one I'm keeping. This one I'm definitely keeping because it's a nice little ring dish going next to my sink. But I'm not working on anything tonight because my arms feel like they're trying to fall off. If I try to do much of anything. I just got a new mold for resin that I wanted to show you guys, but I'm not sure where I set it. But it's specifically for making gauged earrings. It has 3 different sizes in it.
Nice. Those are the egg molds. So you know that you can't have the resin against your ear for gauges, right?
I had been checking on that and I hadn't been able to find anything. People who make them out of resin, they put something else, and I don't know what other material they put, but they put it around it. Okay, I'll look into that more. Like it's not good for your skin to wear resin gauges in your ear all the time. Okay. I'll look into that more because I have been trying to find that. There's been a conversation finding the information in a few Etsy groups. That's right. Beautiful eye. What?
I love kitty eyes. On the egg very well, or no? There's a little purple. There's a purple wavy line and like dot, and I don't know if you guys can see it that well.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Like most resin jewelry, you don't like wear embedded in your skin,
right?
You know.
Yep.
So they can make like little rims out of metal that can go. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been contemplating doing that with some sheet metal, but I need a thinner gauge than the ones that I have for that to work right. Anyway. So, sorry. What? What are you saying sorry about?
Anyway, we're better crafts and a better books, not to be like, and just so you know, I've heard it eats people's ears away.
That would fit perfectly with Lovecraft.
No. And I'm not working on anything because I've been working very, very hard on some art over the last several days. And the plan was, if I finished that, I would start the next calendar page before we started our group and be able to work on that. But I am kind of exhausted and haven't started the next calendar page yet. So I'm just going to hang out with you guys and start it tomorrow.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Did you want to show us something that you had just done, or?
I have never done the screen share on Zoom before, so I will do my best. Let me see. How do I?
Once you have the do you have the art up on your screen?
Okay, so I'm on my iPad and I can go to the program that it's in really easily.
I'm not sure. I haven't done it on
an iPad,
on a tablet.
Yeah.
So like on a laptop, you hit share screen, and then like as long as it's running in the background, you can grab it. So you might be able to, as long as you have that open as a another app running in the background, you might be able to. But I haven't even logged into Zoom on my tablet because I like my laptop.
Yeah, I share. Okay, let's see. Only the host can share in this meeting.
What? I had it set so that other people can share.
It's what it says when I click it.
Weird.
It's okay.
Oh. We'll figure it out for another time.
You guys can see if anybody wants to check it out. You guys I've been posting little teaser shots on my Instagram. So I'm Erica Ray Hines, ErikaRaeHeins on Instagram. I've been working on the comic book that I'm working on. And I drew 4 new pages a few weeks ago, and I've been colorizing them over the last 3 days.
I'm so excited for this.
Nah, I need to find a publisher.
Does not stop me from being super excited. What am I trying to say? Oh, after we're done with our meeting tonight, I always go in and put all of our social media in the description also, so anybody who's watching it later can also find that down below. If you're watching it live, not so much, because for some reason you can't put a description on live videos. So, Celephais. I read like a month ago, and
these 3 stories were almost 3 different genres.
They really were. I was thinking that too. Like, we have our, but then I was trying to figure out how to, like, you got a murder house, and you got I don't know, something that sounds like it could come from Stargate. An evil Egyptian god, and then you have. I couldn't figure out a quippy little way to describe Celephais.
Yeah, it's a very gentle look.
I love the inner world and Celephais.
Yeah, the inner world of someone who's not well.
Because the last couple of sentences, you find out what really happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of suspected it for a little while there, but then I thought that it wasn't, because usually whatever I suspect with Lovecraft, I'm wrong. So I was actually surprised that my suspicions were correct that time. Lisa, what did you just say?
I said I love the detail in Celephais, like the way they went through the detail of the clouds and the city, and when like the amount of detail they put in everything was like really intriguing.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just gonna keep coughing at you guys. I hope you don't mind.
You're not doing it in person to my face.
Yes, take 6 feet away.
So does anyone want to give a quick synopsis of Celephais? Or I can?
So
what I can remember, because I read it like a month ago.
Celephais was a dreamer that no one understood. He lived in the fantasy world. He couldn't accept reality. He lived in dreams.
Or was he right and nobody else could access what he could access?
That is also option.
I don't think that's as strongly implied as it has been in other stories, though. I think it was.
I don't think it was his intent, but I also don't think that there's anything in here that makes it so you absolutely couldn't put it that way.
I think he believed it was real.
Oh yeah.
I only noticed a reoccurring theme of death at the end of all these stories.
Yeah. Lovecraft is fascinating. A bit dark.
Morbid.
Did any of you actually watch my video that I put up a couple weeks ago?
I watched your story. I watched it like 4 times. I loved it so much. It took me like half. I was like, "Oh, this is so good." I loved it. Halfway through, but it was like I gotta read the rest. I gotta listen to the rest of it.
Read the rest.
I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just saying I guessed it.
Well, that's why I wanted. I figured, it fit the themes.
Yeah, I even played it for my mom. I'm like, Mom, you've got to listen to this story.
I think I missed it.
Oh, when we couldn't meet a couple weeks ago, it's a story I've sent to you before. Dead Bodies and Top Hats. I don't know if you remember it, because I wrote it like almost a decade ago at this point. But
I don't remember off the top of my head, but if I looked at it, I probably would.
It's like a flash fiction. It's not not long at all. So I don't know. You described Celephais as a more gentle sort of a story, which I agree with. And it was almost soothing to read. It's even with the
it's sad, but it's not.
It is, but it's kind of happy too.
Yeah,
in a way.
Because I think the thing that I really liked about it was just you never know what's going on in somebody else's head.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes that's scary because somebody's like a serial killer wannabe or something. But this went a different direction, and it was like, oh yeah, that bum down the street who everybody thinks is just a loser who's on drugs all the time. No, he's like living in this beautiful, fantastical world and has a name for himself in this world and everything. And it's just, it's kind of a cool, I don't know. It's a compassionate look at somebody in a really unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, the part where he at the end when he goes to rule over his city, his land, his however far that went, and says he reigns there still and will reign happily forever. And anybody who's watching this and has not read this, spoilers. Not that we ever shy away from, talking about the whole thing, but reading just like the last sentence here. He reigns there still and will reign happily forever. Though below the cliffs at Innsmouth, the channel tides played mockingly with the body of a tramp who had stumbled through a half-deserted village at dawn, played mockingly and cast it upon the rocks by ivy-covered Trevor Towers, where a notably fat and especially offensive millionaire brewer enjoys the purchased atmosphere of extinct nobility. Yeah. For a second, I was like, wait, extinct? Yes, extinct. But that part, that he reigns there still and will reign happily forever, that's the part that had me almost like, it was real to him, but it's like it's oh, hey, I just put my phone on silent. It's like it's I cannot think of words. Wow. I don't know. It's like going into the afterlife. Like he couldn't reign there still and reign forever if it wasn't something real that he could access. Like when he dies, it would die with him. And that's why I was like, it could almost be that, and it could be either. It could be this poetic thought that, that was his last thought before he died. So that's the end of forever for him. I don't know what Lovecraft believed about life after death or anything, but yeah. But it could be intended to be something like that, or it could be that like it was this sort of afterlife that he could see into.
I feel like that's more what it comes off as. I like that interpretation of it, maybe.
I mean, I can see it either way. So do you have any more thoughts on Celephais? Cool.
I'm thinking.
What?
I'm thinking it was a really cute story. Sad at the end, but I've always liked the thoughts of a dreamer, so that was nice.
Yeah,
that's what I was starting to say earlier when you were commenting about it being sad. Somebody was commenting about it being sad. I was starting to say it's even in its sadness, it's hopeful in a way that is rare in Lovecraft. But that I think that's what leaves it so beautiful, is that even though he had died, it was in this place of beauty in his mind that he wasn't being ripped from a life he was trying to keep. He wasn't it wasn't such a sad thing that he died in that respect.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm gonna have to leave for a minute. My dog just really needs to go out.
Okay, we might move on to Nyarlathotep while you're doing that, though.
That's fine. I'm gonna turn off my video here for a minute. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Nyarlathotep.
This one was my least favorite of the three.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was not really so much a complete story as it was like a snapshot.
Yeah. It was kind of this really intense stuff happened.
Yeah.
But there was no yeah, I agree. There was no really complete story with it.
Do any of you guys read comics?
Read what?
Read comics. Do you know Mike Mignola, the guy who does the Hellboy comics?
Oh, yeah.
It made me think of his short stories.
Okay, I haven't read it.
He does short stories. They're like that. It's like very, very specifically moody. There's a thing that happens, but it's not always got a clear resolution. Sometimes it's just like this cinematic moment.
Yeah. I compared it to Stargate earlier because it seems like something that would happen in an episode of Stargate, but like the entire thing could be like the cold open before the theme song.
It's like the 3 minutes at the beginning of an episode.
Yes.
Where everybody dies and then they call in the team.
Yep.
Or the expert or whoever the show's about. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's what it makes me think. I mean, the Stargate uses so much with like the Egyptian gods and things, so that also has to do with life of it.
Apparently the Nyarlathotep, however you say their name.
I'm saying Nyarlathotep, and maybe Nyarlathotep, I don't know.
That character apparently comes back and is part of the broader Lovecraft mythology. I was looking that up a little bit. Apparently there's some other stories that mention them.
Maybe this was like his introduction. Like, I have thought of this character and I just want to introduce everybody to this character.
I did underline
Stay tuned.
I did underline a line I liked in this one though, even though I didn't care for the story as a whole. And it was this one. Never before had the screams of nightmare been such a public problem.
I like that line too. Mumbled a trembling response about imposter and static electricity. That's what made me laugh when I, who was colder and more scientific than the rest, mumbled a trembling protest about imposter and static electricity. Nyarlathotep drave us all out, down the dizzy stairs into the damp, hot, deserted midnight streets.
It's like, thanks for that, man.
Everybody's like, shut your mouth.
How dare you?
It is probably the shortest story we've read yet, isn't it?
Yeah.
The little snatch of a story.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else there is to be said about it.
Someone's doing some sort of scientific or technological demonstration that turns into a magic show and they conjure some ancient horror and everybody goes crazy and runs outside. That's basically what happens.
Yep. Can't nod my head like that, just realized.
What?
I started to nod my I move a lot. I get very interactive in conversation. And if I move my head too much, then I start to get dizzy. And I forget that I can't do that until I'm already doing it.
Well,
you know, it's good. It's great.
good times, good times.
Picture in the house.
Picture in the house. I liked this one.
Picture in the house. Well,
just some straight up blood dripping from the ceiling. Good old fashioned.
I love kitty eyes, so every time she does that, I'm just like, oh, pretty eye.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, the picture in the house. I'll do a quick synopsis on this one. And basically, this guy is searching for information, researching stuff, and comes across this old, apparently abandoned house that has
always a good beginning.
What?
I said always a good beginning. Yes.
Yes. And amongst other things, finds a really valuable book in it. And then it turns out somebody is there after all. And he thinks that maybe he can relax around this person for about 3 seconds and then realizes that he's about to get killed.
The book is about somebody exploring in Africa, and there's a page about cannibalism that's especially that it flips open to. That seems
the guy was like obsessed with this page.
Yes.
That page is well read. Yes.
Well looked at. He couldn't read it, but he loved that picture.
Yeah.
In his house.
Maybe.
Mommy, I gotta cut the bunny's ears. They're too tall for the egg mold.
Oh
no!
She's scalping the bunnies.
I'm just trimming their ears.
Ears have feeling too, you know.
Just a little too tall.
So I was intrigued by a lot of the footnotes in this one. Particularly because the very valuable book that he discovered, Lovecraft had never seen, and was going by like a description of somebody's description of something that described it, and a lot of the information was wrong, which I just thought was funny.
Yeah. And I didn't know
he didn't have Google.
It was like, this was a thing that apparently he accused Poe of doing a lot, which was building a story element out of hearsay and not doing all his research. And he went and did it.
But on the other hand, he didn't have Google.
Right. Like, I can hardly imagine trying to do all the research you need to do for a story.
Oh my gosh.
Without the internet?
I mean, even like going to the library and doing like books all over the table, but like
that's what
there's still questions.
Yeah.
Okay, the bunnies have lost height on their ears now. They have short little ears now.
I would never.
That's what they look like. They're too small.
So yeah, my first thought when this guy appeared, I definitely thought he was like a ghost or something.
Oh yeah,
a ghost, a zombie, like something.
It's interesting because the one supernatural element in this story is that he's lived for so long.
Yeah. And the fact that he can live for so long by taking the lives of others and eating them.
Yeah.
Very X-Files, this one. So we have X-Files, we have Stargate.
Fantasy.
What?
Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the first one fits in with.
Fantasy.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We had Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We have Stargate. We have X-Files. That's what I'm going with. Narnia, Celephais, they're basically the same place. Anyway, so I was curious at the very end of this story. I had so many thoughts when he first saw the drop of blood drip on the page, and I was like, the guy's bleeding. Somebody shot the guy.
No, there's a body in
and it wasn't until he like looked up and saw it dripping through the ceiling, and I'm just like, oh crap. I think I saw that episode of like 5 different shows. But when he realizes, and he says, I did not shriek or move, but merely shut my eyes. A moment later came the titanic thunderbolt of thunderbolts, blasting that accursed house of unutterable secrets and bringing the oblivion which alone saved my mind. So am I reading this right, that lightning struck the house was destroyed, but he survived? I mean, because he's telling the story, so I assume he survived.
Yeah.
Which I guess with Lovecraft is not necessarily something you can assume.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think it should be lived or died. I was like,
yeah.
which one?
I thought that could be him die, like the death strike. Like
I don't think that the lightning bolt was necessary. I think that it would have been just as effective. Everything he wanted to do with the story would have been just as effective if he had just run off screaming, honestly.
this chick has a weird head. It's like cocked turned this.
It's so cute.
chicks do that. I have seen chicks do that.
I have too. It's so weird. Right, it's going in the resin. Right, chick.
Drowning him.
He's right. He's right. Out of the resin.
Drowning people in the resin.
That's so funny. Sorry.
She's just drowning a baby chick.
Yeah.
It's melting. It's kind of hilarious.
He's melting.
It looks like he's melting.
Oh, it looks like he's melting.
Maybe he's molting.
There you go.
Oh, me.
I don't think Mod Podge glue is going to work. I think I need like super glue or hot glue at this point.
Hot glue.
What are you trying to glue?
Ribbon.
A ribbon to a gem to a ribbon.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't use Mod Podge.
It's not working.
E6000. For gluing ribbon to ribbon, I would use hot glue, and for gluing something like plastic or metal to ribbon, I use E6000. Or the other super glue that I got, but I think it's out there, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But it's another really good one. So my two fellow Manas, what did you think? Actually, I'm the one not from Maine, really. Anybody? What did you think of the dialect that this guy used?
That was weird. It reminded me of like an old Scottish like sounding.
No, old Scottish. That's what I got. Yeah.
The way that
he's supposed to be like from several centuries before.
Yeah, but from New England.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be like a New England dialect, but one that has died out. Except what it said in the footnotes is that when Lovecraft went to Vermont later in his life, he was shocked to discover that in country towns, people still talked that way. And several of the ways that he wrote things seemed like a distinct precursor to the Maine accent that for some bizarre reason, despite my having lived in Maine my entire life, I cannot even imitate. But I definitely could see the New England influences, but I couldn't figure out like the A-O together. I could not figure out what sound he was trying to like. I was looking at going town. No, that's how that's actually pronounced. Wait, what? Town. So maybe that is the New England in me. Except for I was thinking of the tendency of people in New England to turn to split syllables and increase the number of syllables in a word. So we'd say I can't do it, but my mother does this just in her speech in general, and she'll say like the town, and it's like two syllables in that one syllable word, and I'm like, how and why? So I'm wondering if it was supposed to be that it's like distinctly two syllables. Give me just a minute. But you guys keep talking.
That one's gonna be laying down because his feet are next to his head. I didn't make him that way. I'm trying to pre-resin the chicks and the bunnies so that when I put them into the egg mold with all the other resin, it doesn't cause air bubbles.
That makes sense. She's just like dunking them.
She's soaking them, yes.
I think I need more rest, and I filled this thing up, and it's almost half. It's over half gone now. I'm only like done 5 out of 15. So I think I'm gonna need more rest.
Yeah, sounds like. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. When I was reading the dialect, I didn't get Scottish out of it. I was trying to hear it as a New England accent because I knew that was the intent, but I kept slipping into I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean, and I did that with this book series that I read. That I have read, but also reread several times. It's the Moose Path League series, and I've been in touch with the author actually, trying to figure out if we can do something with that later. But it's set in Maine in the late 1800s, and he doesn't usually write in dialect because everybody in there is from Maine, but occasionally it's a specific character, but you can tell in like the patterns of speech the different parts of Maine people are from. If they're backwoods type, or if they're from Portland or whatever. But often when I'm reading things that he writes in dialect, I also end up going into like a pirate-esque accent instead of a Maine accent, and I'm like, I don't know why my brain just can't grasp the Maine accent, but but I do think like when you think about like the pirate type accent really was like morphed out of Cockney, blended with some Irish and a few other things, and they kind of all got blended together by the people who were down and out, essentially. And the people who traveled to New England, especially, the earlier people traveling and establishing New England, weren't the aristocratic families. They were people who, not like the poor people, because they wouldn't have been able to, but they were, the middle class. They weren't the posh type or anything. So it makes sense that the New England dialect would have developed in a somewhat similar way. I don't know if that makes sense, but I end up blending that and pirate or stereotypical piratey type talk into one thing in my brain.
I watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Or that new one on HBO.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either. It did catch my attention though.
I haven't watched it yet, but I know that it has, I just blanked on her name, but she's on Saturday Night Live and she's amazing, and I'm super excited to see her in that.
Taika Waititi, or however you say his name, he's just the funniest human ever.
Who?
The guy who, okay, so it's the director he directed, have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I haven't.
Okay, never mind. He's very funny. You all know who I'm talking about? No? Okay. I'll keep my sad little...
I believe you that he's funny.
Myself.
I'm looking now because I'm trying to remember her name, and it's really, really bugging me that I can't. Wow. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know what show you're talking about, so I can't tell you.
It's a new show on HBO with pirates.
Our Flag Means Death, I think it's called.
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you.
I have not watched it yet, but I do have access to it, and I forget that I forget about these things when I have the time to watch them. So,
I keep seeing it come up because that's basically what I've been doing for like the past month. Is just watching stuff
You know,
And,
when you're sick, that's the thing to do.
and I may or may not be almost done watching through The Nanny for the second time within the past few weeks. So I watch that on HBO, so I keep seeing it come up. Restarting.
Yeah, I have HBO. I've been watching more for Rurouni Kenshin, but
Which one?
Rurouni Kenshin.
Mhm.
I've been watching that on HBO. I've been watching Castle on Hulu.
I did watch what was available so far to watch of The Gilded Age. That was really good.
Has anybody seen Firefly?
Leslie Jones. And yes, we love Firefly.
There should totally have been a second season.
I didn't even finish the first season.
Oh, it's a terrible ending. I won't give nothing away, but it's a terrible ending.
Is there anybody here who has not seen Firefly? Woman?
Okay.
Watch TV, people. I do not watch TV.
The 9-year-old and the brother take most of the TV.
Yeah, Erica had a really awesome Mal costume.
Oh yeah, I did
a couple years ago.
I still have all the stuff for that.
I loved it. It was one of my favorites. And that was before I had actually watched it. And part of why I watched it because you recommended it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then my husband was like, wait, you haven't seen that?
Yes, it's so good.
Castle, and I was like, oh, it's the same actor as Firefly. I haven't seen Firefly yet. So I watched Firefly and was very disappointed with how it ended. I'm so mad.
Did you watch Serenity? Did you watch the movie Serenity?
Is it on HBO? Because I haven't seen it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'll check and message you after.
Yeah,
if I can find anywhere that's on.
I do want to watch
it. Serenity is lots of feels.
If you liked the show, you should watch it just to know how
it's closure.
Yeah, it's closure.
Closure. Okay, thank you. I did not get closure.
No. Yeah, they canceled the show, and then so many people got mad about it that they made a movie for closure.
They basically crowdfunded the movie, if I'm remembering right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we reading next?
Chicks on my desk.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been watching Westworld with one of my friends on HBO. We just finished season 2. It was at the end of season 2, you find out that one of the characters has scrambled his memory. And so you find out in retrospect that everything you've been watching for his storyline has been out of order. And so you want to go back and watch the second season again and see if I can figure out the order his storyline's supposed to be in.
Oh my gosh, that would drive me nuts.
It was funny because my friend kept going, there's a time jump here. And I was like, why don't they put a screen up that says there's been time jumps? And she's like, it's a plot point. It's okay. And of course, there's that scene in the finale. He's like, oh yeah. Scrambled his memories.
It's like watching Dunkirk.
There's multiple timelines. You gotta figure out the order. I wish you guys could just see the army of chicks and bunnies on my desk.
Just like these bedraggled, resin dipped.
They're just staring at me there. It's creepy. I guess I'm gonna trap them in little eggs.
It is a bit. It is. So are we reading the next 2 stories next? The Outsider and Herbert West Reanimator.
Herbert West Reanimator.
That is a fantastic title, and it's also a bit of a long story.
Do you want to do? Is everybody good with doing both of those for next time, or do you want to do just The Outsider for next time.
I'm good with both.
Carol has my physical book, so I can't tell you based on length, but I'm good with 2 stories.
It's a long. The one's a long one.
This
is how much it is.
Oh wow!
Herbert West Reanimator is almost 30 pages.
Such a fantastic title.
The Outsider is only 7 pages, though.
Yeah,
so basically, it's either we read 7 pages or we read 37 pages. I think we can handle 37 pages, right?
Oh yeah,
we're smart women.
All
right. I am going to cut us off a little bit early tonight because I'm fading fast. Hopefully I will, please God, be better by next time that we meet in 2 weeks.
Hopefully, yeah.
But have a good night, everybody.
I'll share pictures of the army on the table in the chat.